Out into the wild, indigenous child, surviving formidable trials. I studied the rain, scanning the blaze in pursuit of the villainous fire. Who said everything that I love and to blame? Descend is my name. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.
Hi, I'm Ducky.
And I'm Big Red.
And we're Red Duck Reviews. And today we are reporting to you live in front of Topper Jacks.
Today we're going to review the movie Tammy. The movie takes place with a recently unemployed and separated McCarthy who goes on an unexpected road trip with her grandmother, who's played by Susan Sarandon, to Niagara Falls. Now, throughout their road trip, they run into various comedic situations. I think the movie was okay. It had some things in it that could have been better.
There were a couple of scenes that I feel really didn't need to be in there, such as the opening scene when she hits the deer and she spends like the next couple of minutes talking to it, laying down on the road, and then the deer springs up and runs off, and well, you can tell it's not even a real deer at that point. It's CG and it looks terrible. And another scene that I felt like wasn't really needed was when she was riding the Wave Runner at the campsite, and then she crashes it.
Yeah, there were some parts like that. Other things that we kind of thought that were pretty funny in the movie typically evolved around having other people in the movie. I think McCarthy is a very good actor, but I think she does very well playing off of other people. The scenes that with the Wave Runner and with the deer where she was by herself, they kind of seemed to not be as well as she had done when she had an actual additional actor in the movie with her. She does better playing off of other people than she does by herself.
Yeah, but I mean, the movie had plenty of funny scenes, like when she was fired and she just goes off and starts licking the hamburger buns and throwing ketchup packets and sandwiches. That was hilarious. And when she holds up the one Topper Jacks because she needed money to bail out her grandmother, that scene was hilarious. But those were really kind of the best comedic scenes in the movie. Yeah. And for a comedy, you need to be funny constantly, and comedies these days have the tendency to have these scenes that involve awkward conversations that go nowhere and aren't funny, and there's quite a few of those scenes in sight here.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, she did, like in The Heat, she did really, really good with that movie. But I think she did really, really good because she had other people to play off of. In this movie, it centered around mostly her by herself, and I think that was where the weakness in this movie lied. Now, the movie did have a lot of really good actors in it, and a lot of well-known people such as Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy,
Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters,
and Kathy Bates, who you might remember from Misery. I mean, there were some really good people in the movie, but again, for the most part, it was worth watching once. I wouldn't go buy it or watch it again.
Yeah, and one of the awkward scenes actually involved McCarthy and
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, Kathy Bates. It happens right after her grandmother, played by Susan Sarandon, completely just craps on her, calls her like really horrible, calls her really horrible names and humiliates her in front of everyone at the party that they're at. And obviously anybody would be upset by that. And she goes, sits by herself, and then Kathy Bates comes by, and we're thinking, oh, she's going to give her like kind of a pep talk, saying, okay, she really should have said those things, but I mean don't take it to heart because she's an alcoholic. And no, that's not what happens at all. She just tells her, hey, you got to get over it, because she is an alcoholic and she's not going to remember what happened by tomorrow, and you need to grow up. And I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, there was definitely some awkward scenes in there, especially at the end when they're at Niagara Falls. They finally show up at Niagara Falls, and she meets up with the guy that she had the love interest with in the movie. And it would have been great to end the movie when they were both standing under the falls, but they take it one step farther, and they see them, sitting with each other.
They have an additional scene. And now, the love interest subplot, it really was not needed. So, now, I thought that they did really well together. I personally think that they did. I mean, because both of them are awkward people. Their characters are awkward people, and they just, to me, I think they clicked just fine. But, yeah, the ending scene, there's no audio other than the waterfall. You can't hear anything, and they're talking, and then they go in for a kiss, and they're like, oh, that was a really good scene. And then it's like, okay, so they're going to end it here, right? Nope. They go back and they're laying on the rails, and then they talk for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they're talking about Cheetos and how they want to go get Cheetos, and it was just another one of those awkward points in the movie. I mean, the movie definitely could have been better. It wasn't bad. It would be worth going and watching once, but I would say that's about it.
Yeah, so I would rate this a 2 out of 5 feathers.
Yep, I'm going to have to agree with Ducky. I'd give it 2 out of 5 feathers as well.
So, hey, if you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button, share it.
Out into the wild, indigenous child, survivor formidable trials. I stand in the rain, scanning the plains in pursuit of the villainous vile, who said everything that I love and to blame.